Hey guys, welcome back to Coffee and Questions. I'm so glad you could join us as we have a conversation today on just continue to ask and try to answer questions that are intriguing to us, questions about life and Christianity and the Bible and things like that. And so today I thought would be another opportunity to begin a round of Coffeehouse Philosophy. Now remember, Coffeehouse Philosophy is this concept of I'm not trained in philosophy, and you may be trained in philosophy, but most likely you're not. But yet we can sit down at a coffee house and just talk about philosophical things and enjoy that conversation. So I was thinking about philosophy recently because I was on Netflix, trying to find something that's actually worth watching on it, and you know how hard it is to find a good show on Netflix. And I came across a BBC documentary, and BBC severely let me down last time I watched something of theirs, but I thought I'd give them another shot. And this is talking about the code. And what it is this mathematician who's going around to different parts of the world and talking about the underlying code of physics and mathematics that is evident in our world. And so from the number pi to the regularity of Platonic solids he talks about, and he can even use this code to explain the seeming randomness of the fractal systems and all that sort of stuff. And I was thinking about all of this, and my question is physics a glance at the underlying structure of the world, a glance at the underlying structure of the world that God has put into place. Now, I think I was watching a Nova, and they were talking about a similar topic, and they were saying, they had somebody on there talking about, he said, it's kind of like we're in a video game. He said, for example, he said, consider Mario. Mario is running around and he's jumping on Goombas and he's collecting coins and all that sort of stuff. And as he is doing that, he's just out there acting. But what if Mario got a chance to pause and to consider the world that he was in? All right, and he's not a part of our world. He can't look at it. He's a part of his own world, and he begins to sit down and just consider, for example, the height of his jump and measure the patterns of the Goombas as they walked in the clouds and how the fiery spitball things that he throws bounce and take measurements and start doing mathematical equations. And what if Mario began to understand that his world interacts with, there are certain rules and guidelines and systems in place that cause his world to work. And he could begin to understand and calculate this idea of how high he can jump, and he can, based upon those rules in which his world is created, he can calculate what would happen if he does, if he jumps, or if he double jumps, or if he squishes a Goomba, or things like that. And he said, and the question then, in my mind, is what if we are the Marios? You see, and Mario, I think, begins, if he would to do that, he would begin to uncover evidence of the fact that his world is a world that is governed by rules, and rules that were put in place by whom? Designer. In fact, a series of designers, a group of designers in Mario's case. But what if we are the Marios, and by looking at physics and understanding these systems and these rules, even down to what appears to be random but actually isn't, we're simply beginning to grasp the overarching rules of this universe in which we are. And the reality is, if those rules make sense, if those rules are logical and convey some sort of intelligence to us, is it not logical that they were put there by a designer, just like Mario's world was also? What if it is simply that we live in a world that has been programmed by somebody who is so much more intelligent than us that we can't even begin to grasp how intelligent they are? What if they are so much more intelligent, just as much more intelligent than us than we are of, let's say, starfish? And we just can't begin to comprehend how intelligent they are. They could very simply put into place a system in which we are not aware of the fact that we are in a created system, at least not initially. Likewise, if there's an intelligent code that governs all of our natural life, the natural systems of this world, would it not make sense that there would be an intelligent code that would also govern all the other aspects of our life? And in fact, I think we see evidence of that. In fact, when we look at this world and look at the people who we consider truly to be great, these are people who share certain similarities. All right, they are selfless. They are people who love. They are people who forgive. All right, and the greatest of them are the ones who put God first in their lives, in my opinion. Again, I think we find this code written out for us, but not in physics, but in the Bible itself. I think that Mario would not be able to uncode or be able to figure out the actual elements of his code. All he'd be able to do is be able to understand how the code works. It would take somebody to be able to step into Mario's world and explain to him, by the way, this is how your world is designed. This is what you're here for. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And these are the codes that are in place. And that is exactly what we see in the Bible. We see this intelligent creator who formed this world, who begins to step into the world and inform us as humans how we are to live in order to be successful. And that, of course, requires a relationship with him. It's centered around, love and sacrifice, but really it's centered around a relationship with God, one that is forged through Jesus Christ himself. And so, to me, physics simply points to an intelligent designer who has revealed himself in the Bible. The Bible reveals to us the way to have a relationship with him. So that's my philosophy. I think that the physics indicates to us the reality of intelligence that designed a system in which we currently exist. So anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Maybe you can develop this idea more. Maybe you see some holes in it. I'd love to continue this discussion, this Coffeehouse Philosophy. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you again next week. Thanks, guys.